Welcome back to my channel, WinterMotors. My name is Sean Winter, your friendly neighborhood outlaw. And today we're back down south. We're back around the Oslo area. And we're heading off to check out the Viking ship museum. They found a Viking ship and put it into a museum close to Oslo. That's all the information that I know about it currently, but we're going there to learn more. But I am pretty sure that it will be cheaper and better than the Viking village that we went to. Hopefully this Viking related activity will not be as disappointing as the last.
I feel like this will be way more information
and
seeable.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Will be way more worth our time and money, I believe, already, and we haven't even gotten there yet, so let's see if we're right or if we're wrong. So many of the museums here in the Oslo area is out on this half island called Bygdøy. The other thing that's quite interesting or quite cool about Bygdøy is that this is where the royal farm is. And as you can see here, this is a part of the royal fields. There you can see the royal cows. And you might think I'm joking. I'm not joking at all. The cows that are here on the left, as you see coming up to now, are called the royal cows because they live on the royal farm, which is here a royal cow, the royal barn, and right ahead of us is the royal farm. It's that house right there. But we are not here for the royal family, the royal cows, or any other royal things. We are here for another type of kings, the Vikings.
Want to have some of my hand sanitizer?
Probably.
It's a lot.
After arriving at the Viking ship museum, we learned that there are 3 ships on display. The Oseberg ship, built around 820 AD, found on the Oseberg farm in 1903. The Gokstad ship, built around 890 AD and found on the Gokstad farm in 1880. And the Tune ship, built around 910 AD and was excavated in 1867. These ships are mighty and impressive pieces of work, and it's wild to think that Norway's ancestors conquered the sea using these ships over 1,000 years ago. When the ships were excavated, most of the treasures the ships were buried with had already been stolen. But they found the remains of the Viking men and women that were laid to rest inside these ships. The part of the museum that holds the Viking artifacts found on these ships and other excavations was unfortunately closed. We later found out that this year was the last chance to see these ships for another 5 years. So we are happy that we at least got to see them, but we're sad to tell you that you have to wait to see them for yourself. Just made it out of the Viking museum, or the Viking ship museum, and there isn't that much inside of it. There's 3 ships, technically 4, but the 4th one is just nails. But it's a lot of history in there, a lot of important history. And as I overheard a guide say, that it's the biggest Viking collection in the world. Me and Mara was discussing that maybe she meant the biggest Viking ship collection in the world. I'm not sure, but it's an important part of history, and it was very cool to see those very old ships so intact. But we're not leaving Bygdøy just yet. Like I mentioned, there are many museums on this half island, and we're gonna just see if we would like to pop into the Folk Museum. And here is the parking for the Folk Museum. Not even maybe 2 minutes away from the Viking Museum. This is a museum where they show Norwegian history, and they've taken a lot of old buildings from around in the country and put them up here to show different kinds of building history and different kinds of culture from around the country. And they built it all to look like you're in a town. Like now we're in the part which is Gamlebyen, which is the old part of Oslo. And that's what this is supposed to represent. And it does look like that. In Norway you need to go to a museum to see all these old shops like this. In Europe you just need to go to East Europe and it all looks like that. We have now finally made it to the main reason that we came here. We came here to check out Gol stavkirke. We passed by its original location in the last video and where a replica of this church stands today. But this is the original one that was moved from Gol, where we just were, and put here in Oslo. This stavkirke, the Gol stavkirke, was built in the 1300s, while the Torpo stavkirke that we saw the other day was built in the 1100s. The person who built the Torpo stavkirke was obviously not alive to build this one in the 1300s. I'm assuming anyway, or else he would be very old when he decided to build this church. But you can see on the inside that this church was very inspired by the one in Torpo. Unfortunately, you can't see similar features of the Torpo stavkirke on the outside, only on the inside, because the Torpo stavkirke is only half a stavkirke. The church was moved here in 1884 by King Oscar II to start a collection of Norwegian buildings to preserve the history. And we are very grateful for that today. And the first houses moved here for King Oscar's collection was this house right here, and that house, and the stavkirke. At least that's what I'm thinking. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a tour guide, I'm a biker. Alright, time to leave Bygdøy Museum Island. We had a nice time at the Viking Museum, but now it's time to head into Oslo City. For the first time on this holiday, actually. Well, that was unexpected.
You can't even see it. It's all wet.
Just know that I'm soaked. Look at the bike.
It started out of nowhere.
We have made it to Grünerløkka in Oslo, one of the hipper, more modern parts of town. At least that's what it was before I left. Lots of things have changed. But we're rummaging around just looking for something to eat. And I think we have set our mind on getting some Indian food. I'm really confused because I'm not sure if you need to pay for parking for motorcycles here in town or not. I just did it. And being Oslo, being Norway, is expensive as fuck, like everything else in this town. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. At least I only have to pay up until 8 o'clock and then it's free. So at least something. You gotta do what you gotta do. I don't really. It doesn't outside maybe? My hair looks ridiculous now. That's better. Outside maybe?
Yeah.
Happy Mara.
This looks like the best samosas I will probably ever get.
Yeah, they look great.
I hope they taste just as good as the living.
I have to stop filming and start eating. Well, we made the right decision with food. That was delicious food.
Really good.
Yeah, really, really good. And I've really got.
Really good.
Of course, we had to get dessert, and what's better than waffles with brown cheese, jam, and whipped cream. And we got it here at Haralds Waffles.
Good bite with everything.
That is damn good waffles, Harold. Really damn good. The guy who runs this store started this entire business out of his apartment window down in Gamlebyen. I remember it because it used to be around the corner from a friend of mine who, before I left, just lived down the street there. He kind of started the business as a joke because people were passing by his apartment drunk after going out on the pubs in the weekends, all this stuff, and he just started selling waffles out of the window for a few kroner. And obviously he made enough to be able to then move on and open an actual store where he now sells waffles, which fucking works. So after our dessert, we moved down to Hausmania. Hausmania is a very alternative part of town where you'll find most street art, artists, music, culture, all down here in Hausmania. So Hausmania was an attempt to create like a free state, kind of like Christiania in Copenhagen, full of art and free people, all that stuff, but it didn't really work as planned. So it's just become a center for culture in Oslo. And in Hausmania you have this concert hall called Blå. I've seen a lot of good bands play here. Time to leave Oslo for today. But we had a really nice day today. A lot of walking, not enough driving. But unfortunately you can't drive Harley Davidsons around museums. That wouldn't make much sense. Well, maybe a Harley Davidson museum, but not these museums anyway. But irregardless of that, thanks for watching another video here at WinterMotors. My name is Sean Winter, your friendly neighborhood outlaw. And until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.